Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen updates. We have new features for Alpha 3.18, a roadmap update. Alpha 3.17.4 is in testing as the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo approaches. We also have some dev responses about the Gen 12 renderer and yet another thread on the Ares Ion. So we've had some new features added to Alpha 3.18 this week with Star Citizen's roadmap update. Time trial race missions are being added throughout the Stanton system. Players will be able to test their skills versus set times, earning rewards based on performance, and even unlocking more tracks as they progress. We know that Cloud Imperium had been working on various racetracks around the Stanton system, sort of quietly, like the Snake Pit and stuff like that, so it's interesting to see that they actually have time trial race missions as part of that, and that they will be somehow enforced in-game, which is cool. Let's see what happens with that. Gen 12 Scene Renderer, new rendering architecture to improve performance. This milestone renders every scene object through the new renderer, with optimizations and additional features such as Vulcan coming in the future. Sandbox prison activities have been 100% confirmed for 3.18 now, so they're actually committed. So they've passed their final review. This is the expansion of prison gameplay with a new suite of missions and sandbox activities to give inmates more opportunities to earn merits or to aid in their escape from prison. New prison missions, NPCs in the mines that you can mug or attack or whatever. Beyond 3.18, the Crusader Spirit has been added to the progress tracker. This appears to be all three of the Crusader Spirit series of ships being worked on, and currently that's scheduled to have work wrapping up mid-June 2023. I think it's probably going to be a Q3 release, because I would expect them then to want to have other teams finish off the various work, like the downstream teams, so there's probably a little bit more work than just what's wrapping up in mid-June for the ship, but we'll have to wait and see. The Anvil Legionnaire is awaiting a gameplay dependency from Squadron 42, so it's been temporarily removed from the progress tracker until they know more, but it will be coming back, hopefully, relatively shortly. A Spectrum user said that they were concerned that the Corsair hasn't technically been committed for the 3.17.4 patch and the IAE yet. Cloud Imperium responded, "No need to worry. The roadmap is updated based on data we pull about a week prior. It just hasn't had its final review yet, so we're waiting on its final review, basically." On the various 3.18 features that are planned but are yet to be committed for the patch, Cloud Imperium again said, "Committed status only gets switched on once the features have passed their final reviews. As of this update, we haven't had the final reviews for the remaining 3.18 features." Star Citizen Alpha 3.17.4 has gone into PTU, the testing phase, making sure that the expo halls work for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. It is open PTU, so anyone can jump in and help out with that. There isn't much in the way of spoilers here, though, just the red colour scheme and branding for the IAE this year. It's at Microtech. At the Expo Center there. There were problems with the first test on the PTU being extremely crashy, but with the current build, there's a load of fixes and improvements there, as well as a load of polish for the Expo Hall itself. The 2952 Intergalactic Aerospace Expo starts proper on the 18th of November at 4 PM UTC. It was confirmed that there are no plans for any additional referral or recruitment bonuses this year for the IAE. Sort of bear that in mind. I've got some juicy dev responses for you as well. Is 3.18's Gen 12 update the complete iteration, or will it be split across many patches? Was a thread I came across. Sylvan CIG responded to this question. Gen 12 is split across many patches. The first Gen 12 code was in 3.14, which was just post-processing effects. 3.17 had static geometry rendered with Gen 12, but transparent objects and other stuff was still on Legacy. 3.18 will have all scene geometry and many more passes rendered in Gen 12. On top of that, we managed to get the pipeline-centric rendering working as well, which is very specialized code path to render one single view. Imagine the main view or render to texture or a cube map. Both of these combined are no longer having to render Legacy plus Gen 12 at the same time, and this will improve the render thread performance massively. How much this will have an effect on your overall frame rate, we still don't know. We've never tested it in a full release environment, but I'm eager to see some analysis from you once it's in your hands. There will still be a few more passes to port across though. GPU skinning, lens flares, damage map rendering. Expect to see that in our monthly reports in the coming months, but 3.18 is the biggest milestone for Gen 12. This marks the point where we can finally get rid of all the legacy rendering code, and that is a lot. Porting everything to Gen 12 is mandatory to get Vulkan fully up and running. Let me emphasize again that the current Gen 12 renderer hasn't been optimized at all. Expect to see some big performance improvements to our renderer in the upcoming patches after 3.18. Again, how much this affects your FPS, I do not know. It's a very complicated topic. There was another Ares Ion thread, so obviously people were upset that the Ares Ion got nerfed from its very powerful one-shot, slow-firing snipper cannon to something that is a lot more inaccurate and quicker firing, doesn't really one-shot fighters anymore. So the thread said, please give us back the Ares Ion from the PTU, a real size 7 gun with only 13 shots, but when you shoot it feels it's a S7 made to attack a capital ship. Currently, the semi-cannon repeater is insipid as possible, devoid of soul. Ditto for the Inferno. It's not up to the Ares to be nerfed. We can talk about the totally incomprehensible spread of the Inferno's Gatling. But to some weekend Skywalkers, to understand that flying in a straight line against a size 7 is not the recommended approach. So YogaClat responded to this. We will likely not be updating the Ares weaponry for quite a while until other things are out of the way. As we mentioned before with the vehicle feature team's priorities, we're currently on Squadron 42 and a lot of PU maintenance work will have to wait. Just to get some light at the end of the tunnel, there are two big things that are currently happening which are related to the issues you listed. The first is a ticket we call weapon diversification that is currently in progress. It means getting rid of the two gun archetypes and tuning weapons individually, and this includes the Ares weaponry. The second thing are the updates to aiming and gunnery systems I hinted at before, but these updates give us a lot more freedom to tune every single weapon individually, specifically with regards to aim assist parameters. The pips are also calculated in a slightly different way so that they give you more precise pips, especially when the targets are close, which is important because the Ares has a single fixed gun which is far offset of the center of the ship. Once these changes are in place, I'm less concerned with going back to the heavy cannon style of earlier PTU patches, as we have a lot more control over the hit performance. Anyways, once these two things hit the PU, I'm quite positive that the experience surrounding the Ares will be better. I can't give dates, of course, just stating we're actively working on the gunnery, aiming and weapons systems, and they are coming along pretty well. I think that was a pretty good response from Cloud Imperium there. Look, the Ares Ion, I want it to have a nice cool sniper gun. Slow firing, pretty accurate, very high damage, but I do not want it to be a one-shot annihilation of fighter weapon that just goes, yeah, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. Because there will be some high skill people that just annihilate everyone with it. So there needs to be a, what's the ship's purpose? Well, it's mainly to be used for taking out larger ships, but obviously you can probably use it against fighters, especially if those fighters are otherwise distracted or are flying towards you in a wing, sort of like as an Alpha Strike sort of weapon. That sort of thing, maybe. Cloud Imperium need to work that out, need to make sure it's not overpowered, and it needs to make sure it doesn't break the game and ruin the experience for everyone else. But on paper, the Ares Ion, I want it to be cool. A couple of things coming later this week in Star Citizen. So later Thursday, Inside Star Citizen has an environment-themed episode looking at some new locations coming with some up-and-coming patches. Friday's Star Citizen Live is at 4 PM UTC out on the Star Citizen Twitch, and we'll follow up even more with environments and locations with the Turbulent Studio. Boom! That's it for your roadmap, news, and dev response updates today. But what do you think? Are you excited for the 2952 Intergalactic Aerospace Expo? Are there any ships that you're looking forward to testing or purchasing? Anything that you're really hoping to see turn up and like get updates on? Like, oh, I want to know more about the Banu Merchantman again, see where it is. Anything new excites me, really, to be honest. So I'm really looking forward to flying that Corsair, but we know there are other ships also turning up that are entirely new at the IAE. Are you hoping that the Gen 12 renderer updates get some more performance and frames for you? What about 3.18? Do you think they'll have an actual live build for mid-December like they've planned? Or is it too jam-packed full of features to feasibly be released to live by then with all of them? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
Hello, I'm Winston Churchill, and I use NordVPN to defend the Internet Empire. We will fight the ants on the beaches. We shall fight on the Internet. We shall fight the trackers and the malware. Whether we want to watch Netflix for another country or have greater accessibility to the Internet, we will defend our island home. At any rate, that is what we're programmed to do.
Thanks, Winston Churchill. What? What do you mean, Tin? That wasn't Winston Churchill? Point still stands. Go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer to get yourself discounted NordVPN, or use the links below. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For November, we're giving away a Crusader Spirit C1. It's a fantastic looking multi-role ship that can fit a vehicle in the back or a load of cargo, and it looks really cool. It's got loads of forward-facing weaponry and a tractor beam. As it's a concept ship though, the winner will have a Cutlass Black in the meantime as a loaner. It comes with access to the game and lifetime insurance too, so bam! Even if you don't have Star Citizen stuff yet, you can get straight into the game with this. It's all you need. Just comment on any of my videos this month to be in for a chance of winning. A massive thank you to everyone that has used the join button under my videos to become a channel member and my Patreons. You guys are awesome. It really does help the channel. Please consider becoming one of those lovely people too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.